Welcome to the Real Estate Fight Club, a podcast for agents where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Mertland and Monica Weekly.
Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. What's up, J Mert?
Hey, Monica. What are you doing today?
I'm living the dream, man. I just
you?
feel so freaking lucky every day. I'm
God.
vertical and taking nourishment. That's what my dad says.
That's
vertical, taking nourishment. Now I'm good. How are you?
good. I don't know if I've told you this, but I used to manage a Starbucks, and I had this girl on my team, and she would say something like, and it's early, right? At Starbucks,
Yeah.
it's so early. And she was like one of those like overly peppy people that you just wanted to smack. And she would be like, I'm having a super awesome, fantastic, super day, or something ridiculous. And every customer would just like stare at me and be like, make her stop.
Make her stop. We're not there yet. They're coming to get there, but they're not there yet when they're there, right?
In this episode of Real Estate Fight Club, we're going to teach you how to read the room.
That's right. My mom always says she's better. She says, I'm better than I deserve. Like, I like that.
I don't like that. What does that mean?
She's better than, I don't know.
She deserves to be even better.
But she's better than that.
Dang.
She's like the best. All right, guys.
That's being not annoying. Go ahead.
Hey, all right. We're going to get to the reason you're here, which is to see Jen and I duke it out. By the way, we love that you guys tune in. We certainly appreciate our listeners and love it, especially when you subscribe. And go check us out on Instagram. We've got some funny reels over there.
Monica's hilarious. I feel like people know that, but you're real funny on the reels.
I am not. All right, guys. Today, Jen and I are going to duke it out over this question. Are real estate agents replaceable by technology, with technology? Are we going to be replaced with technology? And we're seeing little I don't know, bits and pieces of this kind of try to get their way into our business. Don't you know?
Don't you know? Are you from Canada?
Yeah, I'm from Fargo.
I think this is an interesting question. I really like technology. I think it's interesting, even though I didn't know how to use a computer yesterday, but I think they keep trying to replace us. I think the reality is that technology can help agents. I also think that some technology can hurt agents. But I don't think we'll ever be fully replaced. And I know that because they've tried and they've tried.
Hey Zillow, how you doing?
Oh, stop. But look, I think competition is good. So I want them to keep trying because I think it ups our game, but I do have a vision.
Oh, what is it?
I think I've mentioned this before on a different podcast, but I feel how there's all these horrible rules, not horrible, but there's all these rules about being a realtor, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Horrible rules. Some of them are not horrible, but I want to have in the house, a way that there can be a hologram or something that can tell you in the homeowner's point of view, why they loved living there or something like that on the stuff that we can't say. Or we don't know.
Okay. Creepy.
That's not creepy.
Walk in, there's a hologram of somebody standing in the corner. That's
I think though it's going to, we will have more virtual stuff, right? So,
yeah, sure.
And there already are people buying houses virtually, in the virtual world. So there's going to be so much more. And I think that's the opportunity. I don't think that replaces real estate agents, but I think as a real estate agent, this is a good opportunity for you to learn about all that crap because it's happening. It is happening. Hey there, you liking this video? Go ahead and hit subscribe so you get all the latest videos.
You know what's funny? When you were saying that, I was reminded of a trip I took to San Francisco and I went out and I toured Alcatraz. Have you ever toured Alcatraz?
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's really cool. But they give you these headsets and you walk around and it's like a guided tour.
It's like that.
We could do that. You're walking through and the sellers
You
are
don't even
saying,
need a headset. You have your
Sorry.
earbuds. You could do it. Maybe
Yeah.
people do, but a lot of sellers like won't do a video, but maybe there's like an audio about the house.
yes, like this is
Like,
the
does
living
the
room. What's
tour.
great about it is the
I
sun in the
know.
morning shines in, like blah, blah, blah.
Girl, do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, here's why I think that we will not anytime in the even remote future be replaced with technology. And that is because we're not a transaction. We're not an order at McDonald's. You know, it's not, here's this menu and you pick and then you get to
Even
the
at
finish line.
McDonald's, they have people that work.
Right. Well, they are replacing them with those order
They
pads
haven't
now.
yet.
Yeah, I don't like McDonald's.
But what about if AI, because AI becomes it's more advanced, right? It becomes more and more advanced. Like, what about when that happens?
Yeah, AI still can't replace the psychology degree that I have to get a client to the finish line. I mean, it's just not going to happen. There's such a human aspect to this business. I'm so grateful that we are not a widget, transaction type business. It's just not, and it never will be.
Yeah, but I do think that doesn't negate us as agents having to up our game.
Agreed. I think there are aspects of the transaction that can become transactional in that way.
And should become like more technology based.
Right. I could see a segment of real estate sales branch off into that world where you're cash investing, that kind of thing. But anytime you have the average human being moving out of their most sacred place, like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but what about like when your house, like I can see us moving more into like fractional ownership of housing. And Rachel Reel and Saul Klein and I talk about some of this on like Better Call Saul, like property rights and stuff. So I can see the world's getting smaller and some people don't necessarily want to like own the whole thing. Like you have like Airbnb and stuff like that, right? And like maybe some fractional ownership. I wonder what will happen then.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that becoming more transactional, but although wouldn't it just be managed by more of a management company, like a representative of those people?
Which would be the agent. Well, and I think too, there's like a piece that there's like a lot of our job that you can't take away, not just being like the psychologist or whatever, but just like the relationships of knowing each other too.
Yeah.
Right, like, hey, can you help me? This is what we're looking for. And they're like, well, I might know something that you don't know, like all this, right?
Yeah. Right. There's our business is full of opinions. Did you know that?
What?
Opinions.
The wrong ones.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's why you and I have this popular podcast. It's all opinion based, and you just can't fit that into a box. It just doesn't work.
Right, because we change our mind all the time.
There's more than one way to sell a house.
Yes. Let's take a break, gather our thoughts, and then come back. And while we're on break, listen closely to a word from our favorite partners.
Oh my gosh. And honestly, if we have a partnership with somebody and we're going to break on
There's
them,
a freaking reason.
Listen, these guys have something to help you with. Yeah.
Get it.
Are you where exactly you want to be in your business and in your life? Chances are you're probably not. So you've been thinking about coaching. You know that in order to get you where you want to go from where you currently are, you're going to need help. You need accountability. You need clarity, you need processes, you need systems, you need people. That is what a coach does. And I know you've been thinking about coaching, but you're scared to take the leap. And I totally get it. So Monica and I were talking, and we are going to give you a taste of coaching with my coach, Coach John Kitchens. So Monica and I are going to pay for the first 60 days with him, which your life will be completely different in the next 60 days. Go to trial.coachcode.com. There's a section for sponsor. Put Fight Club in that section. Monica and I will pay for the first 60 days, and all you have to do is show up. Go to trial.coachcode.com and enter Fight Club.
Welcome back. Let's get back into the virtual battle inside. And close out with our final round. Jen, what do you think is one aspect of what you and I do on a daily basis that you think could use a push towards technology that would really benefit everybody?
I would say like not what you and I necessarily do, but I think like the process for title searching, I think putting everything on the blockchain, it just doesn't make sense not to have it there. There's too much room for error. And the blockchain like can't be changed. Like it's what it is. This should be a lot simpler.
I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think that's interesting because, well, to your point, and we did a podcast on this recently, is you could research a lot before you even got started with selling your house and prevent some last minute hiccups that we all know exist.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay, do you think anything that we do like on a regular basis, God, we've got to find something better for the sign. That dragging that damn sign around is stupid.
That's true. That's true.
Can we just all like get a self-driving Tesla and let it drop the sign off?
Or you ping the house somehow. What's that?
That could be the hologram.
Somebody in the yard, like.
Well, like, you know how you have like the Christmas lights light up the house or whatever?
Yes,
it could be like for sale.
On the house.
On the house.
That'd be so sweet. What if you were driving around and if you like logged into an app, every time you passed a house that was for sale, it would ping you? Like,
yeah, I mean, that would be cool, but that would also be like, I feel like a little bit distracting. And then you'd have to be like looking at your phone to get the ping.
That's true. Instead of just
feel like it has to be something that you can see, but like, I think we can, it's like the fax machine. Why is there still a fax machine?
I mean, somebody asked me to fax something the other day. I said, "Are you kidding me? What even is that? I don't even know what you're talking about."
Welcome to 2022, Karen.
Yeah.
But so I mean, there are things in our world that can be improved. And I think as a group of people overall, I think we're a little too stuck in how things have always been done. And I think that's a mistake. And it reminds me of cab drivers. And it's like, okay, well, now there's Uber. Reminds me of, retail. Now there's Amazon. Blockbuster. Now there's Netflix. Let's not be the Blockbuster.
Yeah, right.
Of our world.
Remember, we used to have to wait for the MLS book to come out every Friday.
People don't remember that.
I'm just saying we have.
That was the caravan. Jesus.
You used to have to go get the key from the office and then return the key. Can you imagine in this market trying to balance one key, like not in a lockbox? It would be nuts. Have you seen the
memes where it's like you get home from a day of showings and there's a key in your pocket?
Yes, I have. It's hilarious.
Well, our guest also has some really cool thoughts on this. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Can't wait. All right. I think that's going to have to be the end of today's. I won't call it a battle. I'll call it a discussion. And here's what crossed my mind as we were talking about this from the listener's viewpoint. Curious, obviously what you think, but also let's always be thinking, what can we automate for a better experience for your sellers or your buyers or
and yourself,
your experience for you, right? Either way. So I think that's worth a discussion too, is like, what's next for you in your business? Yeah.
Right. I like it.
All right.
Well, make sure you share this if there's a colleague that you have that would like it. And make sure you like and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Insta.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about EXP or you may be looking for a switch, feel free to give us a buzz or a text at 513-400-1691. Bye, Monica.
See you next time, Mert.
Right, I am with our tiebreaker, Matt Lionetti. Hey, Matt.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you could be on. So you are a real estate agent with the brokerage called The Agency, but you also have a podcast that's really good called Over Ask. I love it. It's great.
Correct. Thank you.
So everybody should subscribe. But you had posed this question, I think, on one of the social channels about, are real estate agents replaceable by technology? So I want to
Yep.
hear what you think. And I also want to hear like if you got any like super funny or ridiculous comments, of course.
Well, yeah, I did a little video saying that I thought, I was getting a little scared, and then I go to the Walmart self-checkout line, and I see that no one can find the code of their tomatoes, and I think we're going to be all right.
I think we'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to be all right. I mean, I don't think it'll ever be replaced. But I think things will change.
Mhm.
It already is changing with, things going more tech-based. But I think people are always going to want that human interaction. And I posted that video onto YouTube or onto TikTok,
Uh-huh.
and TikTok's like a whole, like, these people are like, they're looking for fights.
Yeah.
They're looking for fights in those comments. So it was
Those are
pretty
my
crazy.
kind of people, just hostile from the beginning, you know?
Yes. I mean, they were just, I didn't and it's very odd to see how ignorant they are on the subject, but they say it with such as fact.
Passion. Yeah.
Yeah, tons of passion and fact. And I don't think it's ever another argument I always have is like, I can buy any piece of clothing I want
Mhm.
online,
Yeah.
but I still always go to the mall,
Yeah.
So like, I think there's some things that people are always going to want, that human interaction, at least some people, because like everyone's talking about the blockchain, and I don't even know too much about this fucking metaverse shit, so I don't know what's going
Where
on.
you
But
can like own property, like
yeah,
yeah,
on like Farmville, yeah. So like,
that's cool, man.
it's cool, but like, you ask my parents what that is, they're gonna have no clue.
Right.
You ask a lot of people I'm 30, you ask a lot of people my age what it does, they're gonna have no clue.
Right.
So I think it's going to take a lot longer for people to A, understand, and B, feel comfortable.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff, like the virtual realities and stuff, I mean, it's not real, right? So like that's a totally different animal. But like in the real world, what do you think about it? Feels like the world's becoming smaller, and people realized, like, especially with COVID, that they can actually do their job, which they thought they couldn't previously do. They had to be there. They can do it from anywhere. So I was thinking that maybe there would be some more like fractional housing ownership. And I don't know if some of that piece could be replaceable by tech.
it's interesting. It's definitely like, to tech people, yes.
Yes.
Like for me, I personally will never want to do something of that magnitude without a person that
a
I can talk to.
consultation, which is really interesting, because now that we're talking about it, I actually agree with you. But then the second question is, who are you consulting with? So if most agents sell less than 5 houses a year, is that who you want to consult with on your biggest purchase?
No, but those are going to be the first people to go. I mean, that's what I'm saying, when things are going to
Okay.
change.
Uh-huh.
Like these agents who are selling 5 homes or less, they're not going to make it. They're not fucking, they're
Or it'll
sinking.
end up being like I think it'll end up being more of a customer service job, like more of a, like where it is replacing tech, they'll then be.
Because it's going to get to the point where you're right. I mean, you're asking questions, you need answers.
Yeah.
You can definitely get those answers on
Like
a computer.
easily. Yeah.
But
What can it answer? Like, what will you need to consult about as a seller, as a buyer?
well, for example, I'm doing an assignment deal. I don't know if it's the same terms everywhere for real estate, but in Canada we have
Like
assignment
wholesale?
deals where we're buying like a contract
Yeah.
for a builder. So someone bought from the builder. Now
Okay.
we're purchasing that contract that person bought. So it's a
Okay.
little more complicated than just a normal resale. So we were going through everything, and I had all my terms and everything that I needed in front of me from, I guess like a robot. They were telling me everything, but I needed more explanation on things. So
Yeah.
that's where I think it's going to get a little like, I need real, I can't have like
Actually,
just
that's a good
stock answers.
Right.
So when I say, what do you do here? Or in this specific situation, how do I handle this? So I actually called my lawyer And I was talking to him for 40 minutes about just getting every specific detail. And I think that's the stuff that people are going to figure out, that it can happen and it will eventually happen, where, you know, technology will be able to answer real time, very specific to your deal questions. But I think that's the shit that's going to take a lot longer than people might think. And this is my opinion. Everyone's gonna have a different opinion. That's where TikTok, they all go wild. It's like you can only have their opinion. I just think,
I feel like I need to get on TikTok. If it is all about fighting, like that's my platform, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you want to fight with me in the comments, it's a bad place to be. It's a bad place to be because people get lit up by me in the comments section a lot of the time. So I wouldn't recommend. But that's what I'm saying. Like, just by experiences, I'm a millennial, and I think a lot of millennials are like me. They want detail. I get the Gen Z and the people, you know, kids are growing up on iPads now, so they're going to be way more comfortable than, you know, for half my life for more than half my life I didn't have a computer in my pocket,
right?
You know, we had cell phones when I was in high school, but it wasn't, I could call and text people, you know, and listen to some music. I couldn't, you know, watch YouTube and shit. So I think that's where it's going to get dicey, when you need like some real specific answers. Oh, well, what if this happens?
Right.
Oh, well, what happens if, you know, we do the deal and then the deposit doesn't get dropped off, and then they say they want out of the deal, but they're in a binding contract. So do we keep the deposit, but we don't have the deposit yet? Right. You know, stuff like that, where it's just
more of like the psychology. I think then real estate agents will have to have a master's degree in psychology.
Yeah. I feel like we already should have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a lot of the times. And that's a lot of the other thing, like what people don't understand is it's managing emotions as well.
Yeah.
So like, I have people last year.
What it is.
Yeah, it's a lot of what it is. And like, I had some clients last year, and they're just like, "Oh my God, Matt, thank you so much. Like, I call you, and you just make me feel so much better about this deal. And like, I've been so stressed out, and I just like, I can't believe you do this all the time. Like,
I'm always like, never be a realtor. You will hate it.
Well, I had a client last year. They bought with me, but they were living way out.
Yeah.
So they sold with someone else, and they wanted to buy first, and I told them to sell first, but the other guy, they didn't listen, and they bought first. Then the other guy, who was like 4 hours away, couldn't sell their house.
Oh,
so like we're getting closer and closer and closer, and we can't, you know, sell their house. So they're calling me freaking out, and like, I'm like, okay, you got to do this and this and this. And like, that's the stuff I think that's going to be harder to replace than just, sorry, that's my dog barking. Okay. That's the stuff, like, everyone only goes to, oh, well, anyone can fill out a contract. Anyone could. Well, it's a lot more than that.
It's more than that.
And there's terms in that contract that you really need to fully understand, or you can get yourself into some dicey situations. Like someone on TikTok said, oh, all I need is the bank and an inspector. I said, well, fuck, man, you're going to have a real issue if you don't have a lawyer. Like, they don't even know that. They don't even know that they need a lawyer. Like, and it's just like things like that. And he's saying this, like I said, like with so much passion and fact.
I wonder how many houses he's actually bought. I'm guessing 0.
That's another thing. There's a lot of, I feel like that's a big thing that's happening too. Like people are jumping on the bandwagon of, oh yeah, you're right. It's technology, right? But they, you know, tell them to explain blockchain or the metaverse. They will have no idea how to explain it. They're just, they're seeing a comment here and a comment there from people who we don't know if they're reputable at all. Right. This is worse than 10 years ago when you're Googling your fucking cold symptoms and then it says you're going to die. You know, it's more than that now. Now this is someone who's been in their parents' basement.
We still have doctors, I think is the point. So it's like the same thing. It's like, as technology grows, with everything, with every benefit, there's also a con, right? So it's like, we're going to find out, the public and ourselves will find out what it is that we actually do.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, it is going to change. No doubt it's already changing and it's going to change. But
it should change, right? It cannot stay the same.
No, a lot. Yeah, absolutely not. It can't stay the same. And I think it's going to change for the better, but I don't think that there was so much talk a couple of years ago about how teachers could just be replaced by robots. And I think this pandemic has taught us more than anything that people don't want their kid, send them to school, no robot, like they need that human interaction, especially.
Well, the parents need a break, I think is
the
really
parents need a break.
Yeah. And they need it. But I was thinking about when you were talking, so you're buying this new build contract, right? And then I forget what you said, but it made me think of like an example. So right now I'm dealing with a client. We're getting, he's doing new construction, and out of the back door, there's like a gap, maybe that you would put like 2 steps. Okay. So what the gap is, whatever measurement of length. And he doesn't want the builder to build a deck. So the builder's just going to put sod. But like, to your point, so like that can be done virtually, right? Like, here are the specs. Here's the gap. But his question is like, but what does that mean? And I'm like, that means when you like walk out that door, you're going to fall. Like you are going to fall because it's 2 steps high. And that is, and even if there was a virtual world that could walk him around, and even if that technology, like maybe it even like you can smell, you can feel, like the whole sensation is there, right? It captures all of your senses. He would still need me to like help him, right? To your point, like make him feel like, what are our options here even?
Yeah. Just to, give him some sense of like that he's going to just know everything's going to be okay. Like that's, and that another thing. They
haven't been through it. I mean, most people buy houses. What is it? I think it used to be like every 7 years. Now it's every like 10. And even if it gets less, it's still not going to be as often as you and I do it.
No, exactly. And no doubt, like I keep saying, like it's going to change. And maybe some people will do it all completely online. There's already people who are, for sale by owners and stuff like that. That's fine, but that's a very minimal amount of people. And like what I keep thinking too is like, you're telling me there's never going to be like a glitch in writing a contract. So what if you buy the house and you don't, in the included section of the chattels or the chattels or whatever the fuck people pronounce them.
I don't know what they're called.
They don't include, they include no appliances.
Right.
Okay. They're just gone. So then you move there and they don't need to sell you those appliances now. They could take all those appliances out and you can't do a damn thing about it. And the argument from the tech folk is, oh, well, that could easily happen with a real person too. They could forget to put it in. We are specifically, that's one of the things, like we all know, don't fucking forget to, and your inclusions.
Well, we all know that because we've all forgotten at one time.
Yeah. And the like, thing is also we're liable.
Yeah.
So if we forget that, my client's coming to me, you're being like, you're buying me all these appliances. The robot's going to piece out. There's going to be the robot ain't buying you shit.
No.
So they also have to think of that, like liability things like that. And, home inspections, like we're getting rid of everyone. Like, is that what we're doing? Like, we're not going to do inspections anymore. It's going to have a drone go through there and hope for the best. Like, I don't know. Where does it stop? That's what I think. Like,
I mean,
where does it
cool
stop?
To think about though, like if you could have, like if somehow the houses are already mapped, like we already have that, right? But if you could bring in all the senses, like you could bring in smell and you could like feel like walking around, like what does this feel like to live here virtually, like with technology? But I agree with you. I don't think that there's any way that real estate agents, I think we'll have to up our game. And I think we're going to have to know more.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna have to know more. Yeah, we should already. So many agents I talk to are shit. And I agree with that 100%.
Except for these listeners. Well, maybe some of you. No.
We've all met them. And whenever I meet them, I say, you're the reason why we have such a bad rep. Like you are the reason. Like, like that's just what it is. Like there's a lot of us and a lot of my friends and a lot of people I know are amazing people and amazing agents. Yeah. But no doubt there's some that just suck.
Well, 85% of them are likely terrible. That's the rule, right? The 80-20 rule or whatever.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's just like, I understand why the public is like, well, I don't really understand why they're like so against like they have one bad experience, then everyone's agents are frauds.
Right. That's always how it is. I'm always like, okay, but how many people did you date before you met your spouse? Like, if you applied that ridiculous thinking to other areas of your life, where would you be living?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly. And
it's
like
nuts.
For the tech stuff too, like I'm interested to see where it goes, but I'm also like scared that it's just going to go too far. Like, are we not going to leave our house anymore?
Oh, it's
like
for sure going to go too far.
I know.
That is the way of Americans and Canadians. We just take, especially in America, we just take it way too far before we bring it back.
Yeah, but like, it's just like, are we going to do anything? I like going to look at houses. I like going to the mall. I like to do those things.
You're going to live underground in some like Fraggle Rock world that they're like, nothing changes.
Yeah, maybe. So it's just like, are we not going to need cars anymore?
No, we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to
like,
fractionally own cars and it'll be like Uber.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited. We should fight about technology.
I mean, I don't know. Too much technology. I still wear like real watches.
What? I didn't even know they made. Do you read the newspaper?
No, I don't do.
Oh,
I'm not that far back.
That's where you draw the line. I got it.
That, but I do read print books. I don't read. Yeah, I don't listen to audiobooks, and I don't read a fucking Kindle.
You are old school, man.
I'm old school. I like some things. I have a record player.
I see.
What's behind you?
Yeah, I like it. That's cool. You're vintage.
I like it, but like wearing a watch shouldn't be vintage. It should be a normal thing.
You're not even old enough to be vintage.
I know. It's crazy. I'm only 30 and I'm vintage now. I don't know what the hell's happening. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting argument. Like, some people get so heated about it.
There's no reason for that.
No, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I mean, whatever. If you want to start, as this technology comes out, try and do it and use it. I think there's going to be a lot of glitches, of course, at first.
Of course, there's a lot of glitches with people. So wait a minute, you don't drive a Tesla then? No. I just ordered mine.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. There's not enough data on that. Like, I don't know. I don't know about the Tesla. No, I'm old school. I use gas. I love Elon Musk. So
yeah, I like public transit. We just don't. I don't know. Well, Matt, I appreciate you being our tiebreaker. Tell us, what are you working on right now that we desperately need to know about?
Yeah. Well, pretty soon I'm going to work on my own fucking robot so I can
exactly.
battle these people. Mine's going to start like that robot from Rocky IV, that he has in his house, like bringing him soda. That's going to be my first robot.
I like it.
No, we're just going to keep doing the podcast, keep bringing, humor, entertainment, and value. That's what our podcast is for real estate. We have a ton of guests. We've had Ryan Serhant. We've had Mauricio Umansky, who's the founder of the agency, Maya Vander from Selling Sunset. So a lot of big names.
Nice.
And we just try and bring as much value as we can and, try and make it not dry and boring.
No, it's fun.
Yeah. So we try and make it fun. So that's a big thing. We also have a course coming out, The Broke Agent and I, with a coach, Byron Lazine. He's like one of the best in the business.
Mm-hmm. And
we're also trying to make that, very valuable and informative, but also funny. And we're going to have funny clips in it and just to keep you entertained. So we're excited about that. Yeah.
Well, how can people learn more about you, about the podcast, about the course coming out?
Yeah. So Instagram's my main social platform. Yeah. Not TikTok. I've been starting that up, but that's a different kind of, I'm not into like the whole, I just post a video and whatever.
You should resurrect MySpace.
Yeah, maybe I will. Tom.
Yeah.
Tom was good. Tom did his shit and peaced out.
That's smart.
Good for him. No one knows where he is.
I'm jealous.
I like Tom.
Yeah.
You can go on Instagram, Matt .Lionetti, Lionetti. And
you're
DM me there.
To find.
Yeah, or The Broke Agent. I'm partnered with The Broke Agent now, so either of those, and we also have Over Us podcast. So follow any of those on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks so much.
See ya.